Howdy neighbor, if you know me, then you'd know that Smash Bros is one of my favorite series ever. But saying I like Smash is about as much of a hot take as saying pepperoni pizza is better than blank cheese pizza. And while most things about its most recent installment are really great, I feel like the Fighter Pass could use a bit of work. Not to say it's bad or anything, but I feel like certain things about it could use a bit of work in here and there. Mostly when it comes to the overabundance of RPG characters brought in, with roughly half the DLC being from an RPG, so that and a little more is why I wanted to come here today, and I wanted to go over and alter the DLC a bit. I should go over a couple of rules first. The big rule is that if I take a character out and I have to replace them, then I have to replace them with a character that either is from the same company, the same genre, or fulfills the same role. So, for example, I can't replace Min Min with Dante or something like that. But another rule I'm allowing myself is that I'm allowed to swap around fighters. For instance, I can move Min Min to where Banjo came out, and vice versa if I wanted to. And quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to say I can make a DLC period better than Smash. Everything I do here is just for fun, and I have better connections to the community and what people's current most wanted are at all times, thanks to being an active member of the Smash fan base. I'm not making this video with Nintendo hire this man at the front of my brain. Everything I choose here, what my ideal fighter pass would be if I could have chosen the fighters, is, again, just for fun. So, without further ado, let's get it started. So starting things off with Fighter Pass 1, we have Joker kicking off the DLC. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna ignore Piranha Plant overall. He's not really like the rest of the DLC, and he only had the character, not the stage, music, nothing. So I feel it'd be kind of unfair to go, yeah, this DLC sucks, let's replace him with Goku. So yeah, back on track with Joker, I've decided to make the tough decision to make Joker disappear. I do really like Joker and his pack, but I feel like overall with the context of all the RPG characters in the DLC, a couple of them had to go. So when it comes down to all the characters in question, Joker was an unfortunate cut I had to make. But who am I replacing Joker with? Well, out of all the possible options, I decided to go with Kazuma Kiryu from the Yakuza series. I feel he'd bring a fun playstyle to the game, mostly focusing on keeping up combos while using a wide variety of tools and weapons he can pick up in his games. And Yakuza getting a fighter would also give us, I believe, our first beat-em-up rep in Smash, which is cool considering how big the game is, and frankly I'm shocked we haven't gotten one in the past. Also, if Cinderella wasn't included as a song in this pack, it would be an instant failure. Now that we ripped off one of, if not the biggest band-aid in the video, let's take a deep breath and rest assured that the next two characters I'd keep the exact same. Hero and Banjo were included because they were some of the most requested fighters in the East and West respectively, so removing them would feel really wrong. I wouldn't change much about Banjo's past, just give Gruntilda's theme, and get rid of the Camp Crevice and the hazardless version of Spiral Mountain. For Hero though, give us some remixes of iconic Dragon Quest songs, because as it stands, while I love the stage with a funny name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce, I almost never play on it because the music on the stage is just so bland and boring, it puts me to sleep. Now for Terry, who I wouldn't get rid of, but I'd swap around his fighter pack with Kazuya's. Terry was a super out there character that nobody could have ever seen coming in a million years, or at least I never saw him coming, and neither did anyone else I saw online talking about Smash speculation at the time. However, a Tekken rep, namely Heihachi or Kazuya, was kinda something me and a lot of people were expecting to see sooner or later. Like, just think about it for a second. Bandai Namco is making a crossover fighting game, and they're not going to include their fighting game character. That'd be like if Warner Brothers made a crossover fighter and excluded Mortal Kombat. Bad example. So I'd move Terry and Kazuya around just so the final handful of Smash fighters are significantly less predictable. As for Kazuya's pass, I wouldn't really change anything about it. Everything about the pass is already great, so there's nothing to change. Actually, wait, High School Love was excluded. Never mind, this entire DLC cycle is ruined. And now it's the time most of y'all have been waiting for. We get to commit A-Train on Byleth. I do overall really like Byleth's pack. The character is pretty fun, I don't hate the stage nearly as much as most people do, and she brought one of the best remixes in the game. Seriously, the Three Houses remix is so good, go listen to it right now. Hell, from the bit of Three Houses that I've actually played, it's far from a bad game. I honestly wouldn't mind keeping Byleth if they were like the 3rd or 4th Fire Emblem rep instead of the 8th. So who am I replacing Byleth with? Well, out of the handful of options, the idea I like the most is the Astral Chain Hero from Sonic Battle. What do you think? I know some people call them Akira, but to my understanding, that's the rival's name, not the player's name. If I'm wrong, feel free to burn me at the stake in the comments, I don't know. Astral Chain Hero. Okay, that's a long name. Let's give the pro tag a shorter name. How about Arthur Astral? Sure. Arthur's got a bunch of weapons that he can use, from swords to guns to batons. They've got a weird stand thing. Is this a good chime to mention that I've never played Astral Chain before? I don't know, but their stand can become a dog and a Beyblade. If that doesn't convince you that they'd be awesome fit in Smash, I don't know what will. So yeah, that's Fighter Pass 1. Kiryu, Hero, Banjo, Kazuya, Arthur Astral. Now that we have Fighter Pass 1 settled with, I think it's time we move on to...
Sora will not be in Smash?
We start off with Min Min, who I'm keeping the same. I choose aspects of her patch such as removing those 2 damn roof things on the top of Sprig Stadium. Like, holy shit, those are the most annoying things ever in the entire game.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Anyway, Steve I'd keep the exact same. If you actually thought I was going to change my little blocky child, you clearly don't know me. In which case, howdy, I'm Gunshow. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. But give us an Jessie costume. Do it. You won't. Okay, so if replacing Joker didn't get me wanted in 13 different countries, this almost certainly will. Sephiroth might be the one-winged angel, but I'm gonna have to clip this angel's wings. I do love playing as Sephiroth, and all the content around him is great, but allow me to ask a simple question. Why wasn't this included with Cloud in the base game? Maybe this is cheating, but if I could, I'd just move all the music and junk from Sephiroth's pack into the base game and possibly Sephiroth's Spirit as well as a constellation prize. Sure. But who's replacing him? Well, I thought about it for a while. There were several options I was going to replace him with for another Final Fantasy character. Not just from 7, but that was actually the main thing. We're getting a Final Fantasy character from a game other than 7. There were several characters I thought of, such as Black Mage, Noctis, Lightning, Chocobo, Kefka. I could go on with all these possible options. The main reason I didn't choose any of these, honestly, I forgot, but let's just pretend there's a good reason, aside from me just liking the choice I went with better. Yeah, you're a very intelligent person, Gunshow. Lara Croft was someone I almost went with as well, because she'd represent a genre I don't believe we have in this DLC. And also, more women is rarely ever a bad thing. But then I remembered something about Sephiroth's DLC pack that pretty much everyone can agree on that they love. That's being the Sephiroth challenge. Having a final boss get added as a fighter and then unlock said character early is such a cool idea for a fighter. So I wanted to have another iconic video game final boss who we could do that with. So after a while, the character I ended up going with was Dr. Eggman from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. He's a highly requested character from a series most people think deserves a second rep. Eggman could pilot his mech and command army of robots to do his bidding. There's plenty you could do with Eggman to make him feel like a flesh fighter, compared to someone like Bowser Jr. So, I don't think that was a bad idea for a change. After the headache that was Sephiroth, we have another possibly controversial one, Pyra and Mithra, who I'd keep. Yeah, I know they're not the most liked, they're probably the controversial... Yeah, I know they're not very liked, they're probably the most controversial character this side of Byleth, but Xenoblade is big enough series to deserve another rep. I don't even like Xenoblade at all, really, but I don't think that Pyra and Mithra are bad additions to Smash roster. Sure, I don't care for the stage or music, and their playstyle is certainly one of the playstyles in Ultimate, I can say that much, but their inclusion in this game is overall a good one in terms of what they represent, which is what I'm mostly going for in this video. So, just give them a moveset that doesn't put me to sleep and we're all good. Kazuya got swapped around with Terry, so Terry's here now. And since I'm at least lately sane, I'd keep Terry exactly the same. He already has arguably the best fighter pack of the entire DLC period, with some of the best remixes, a really fun character who's essentially one of my favorites in the entire game, and my personal favorite casual stage in the form of King of Fighters Stadium. Terry is all around just an incredible inclusion into Smash, so yeah, keep him the exact same. And finally, Sora Kingdom Heart. Yeah, keep him. I'd change aspects of his pack, but in terms of the character, I do not think there's a single character who's more deserving to be the final character in Smash Ultimate than Sora. He was the most requested character, he's fairly unexpected because Disney is certainly Disney, and is overall really fun character to play as. The stage is also really great, though enable the stained glass transformation of hazardless form. The fact that it's missing is a bit cringe, not gonna lie. Also, give us some remixes. Sora having no remixes is already underwhelming, but the context of him being the last Smash Ultimate Fighter makes that even more disappointing. And that's my Fighter Pack 2 list. I had Min, Steve, Eggman, Pyron, Mithra, Terry, and Sora. I had a lot of fun with this little experiment, and I recommend other people give it a shot. You know what? Screw it. Let's tag some people with this and see what they do with this power. Let's tag a Nerdimus, Blastbox, and Lunatic Zoid with this challenge. Come on, you three. Show the world how wrong you could be. Let's tag... Come on, you three. Show the world how wrong you can be. Well, it's been fun. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other bullcrap I'm forgetting. And I'll see you guys whenever I decide to upload again. Sayonara!